Yes, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Rockin' Rhino from the mighty TCS 262.0. And in honor of Veterans Day, I would like to say thank you to all veterans and every man and woman who has served in the armed forces, Secret Service, CIA ground branch. Our entire military industrial complex. Um, we thank you, my family. I am a big supporter of the military. When you think about America being 300 years old and us having the most powerful military in the world, we've fought and won against countries that have been at war for 40,000 years. Literally, 40. We have the best of the best. You got your Delta guys, your Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6, DevGru, MARSOC. I can go on and on. The Green Berets, Army Rangers. These guys are amazing. So today I'm going to be reacting to a show from a man, a hero named John Chapman. May God rest his soul. It is the first ever recorded Medal of Honor. This is the actions that got this man the Medal of Honor. He actually got 2 in one firefight. Unfortunately, he did not make it. He gave our lives. He gave his life to save ours. And I'm going to be reacting to that video. So I'm going to keep this short. And I hope you guys watch it. It's moving. It's touching. It shows you that people you don't even know, that don't even know you, are out here fighting for our freedom. Our freedom comes at a great cost. And these are gold star soldiers. These are soldiers that they can't even get their name on a wall. They cannot be acknowledged. Their family gets a folded up flag. They become gold star families, and they get a star chipped in the wall in the CIA office or wherever else it is. But I want to be one of the people that recognize these men and women, and I definitely want to shed light on them whenever I can. So first off, roll my intro, and then let's get to this video with your host, Rockin'. And no, I'm not going to do it again. I like it. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into this video, okay? I'm going to try not to do too much talking and too much commenting. Please watch this video. Do this. You are an American. Do this. Even if you're not an American, take a look at our boys. All right? I appreciate you. Happy Veterans Day to everybody who has served, whether you've been in combat or not. I love you. Now let's get it going. Let's get it going.
Chapman, a U.S. Air Force combat controller, and the SEALs are attempting to rescue their lost teammate. You'll watch Chapman's heroic actions as he saves the lives of his entire SEAL team and then another 18 members of a quick reaction force, earning America's highest award, the Medal of Honor. Chapman and the SEALs exfil their MH-47 helicopter. John is the second individual to exit and immediately moves in the direction of the summit.
First one headed
He can
out.
be seen moving off to the right of the screen, alone. The team is taking heavy fire from every direction, as indicated by the arrows,
Enemies
as Chapman
are here.
begins engaging targets.
They're shooting at us here.
You can see spent cartridges ejecting from his M4.
Pop, 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 pop,
Chapman
pop.
then begins closing with the enemy, forcing his way upslope in knee and thigh-deep snow. He is constantly under fire as he does this. Chapman's team leader begins to close on Chapman, following his trail through the snow. The dark mass above Chapman is a fortified bunker containing 2 enemy fighters, each armed with AK-47s, who are firing down on the team in the darkness. This bunker will come to be known as Bunker Number 1.
Bunker 1.
To the left of the tree and Bunker 1 is another gray mass. This is a rock outcropping that came to be called the Boulder. Between Bunker 1 and this boulder can be seen the body of slain SEAL Neil Roberts. The man Chapman and the others are attempting to recover.
We leave no one behind. We're doing this to go get one of ours.
Chapman, still alone and closest to the enemy, pauses to engage targets as his team leader follows him, but never actually catches up with him. Chapman, on his own, now makes the decision to charge directly into the enemy bunker, despite withering point-blank fire.
Right here.
Chapman, now literally on top of the enemy, engages the two combatants and kills them, saving the lives of the remaining SEALs. He does this from a distance of no more than 10 feet.
10 feet.
These actions by themselves earned him his first Medal of Honor.
Thank
He
you.
then climbs into and takes control of the bunker. Having cleared the immediate threat, Chapman is then joined by his team leader in Bunker 1. You can then see Chapman and his team leader engaging the next bunker, known as Bunker 2, which is situated to the left edge of the screen. This bunker, manned by a handful of Chechen and Uzbek fighters, also contains a heavy PKM machine gun, hand grenades, and rocket-propelled grenades.
You guys play Call of
John
Duty.
Chapman
You know what a
is shot
PKM
twice
is.
at this time in the torso and collapses, incapacitated.
So he just dropped. They think he's dead.
You are now looking at a new angle, and at the left of the screen can be seen the two-man fire team and team leader on top of the boulder.
You see him bust.
Just below it is Bunker 1 with the mortally wounded Chapman. One SEAL can be seen firing his modified M60 machine gun from the hip into Bunker 2 on the right side of the screen until he is struck by grenade shrapnel and tumbles 10 feet off the top of the boulder.
You see him tumble there.
Collapsing at the feet of his team leader.
That black spot
Thus
is him
setting
collapsing.
off a chain of events that would lead to the SEALs abandoning Chapman on the summit. The wounded SEAL and the team leader can be seen conferring about his injuries. Moments later, the SEALs decide to retreat from the summit because their position is untenable in the face of continued massive enemy firepower. They can be seen moving toward the right side of the screen and passing the body of Neil Roberts. Unfortunately, the SEALs do not pass John Chapman, who is above them and inside Bunker 1. This angle shows three SEALs in a triangle. The larger black heat signature is a smoke grenade. Just to its left is a donkey and dead Al-Qaeda fighter killed by Chapman.
Rest in piss.
The steepness of the mountain can be seen as the SEALs begin to slide down the near sheer face.
This is a mountain. This is not a snow hill.
The team leader, desperate for relief and now with two wounded teammates, asks for uncontrolled airstrikes from an orbiting Air Force AC-130 gunship.
And that's danger
The
close.
impacts you see are from 105mm howitzer rounds being fired onto the ridgetop in order to save the remaining SEALs. Because neither the SEALs nor gunship know Chapman is alive, he is experiencing these detonations from his position. At approximately 5:20 in the morning, Chapman recovers and begins to engage the enemy.
Woke up and gave it
Bunker
to
1
him.
is on the right side center of the screen and Bunker 2 to the left near the screen center. It will never be known what caused his incapacitation and recovery. Of the two rounds that originally wounded him, at least one was mortal, and at this time he is experiencing severe blood loss and shock. Despite that, he begins his one-man stand against 24 enemy combatants.
24 people.
During this time, Chapman initiates a series of radio calls, many of which are heard by a fellow combat controller and teammate of his and Delta Force operators on a nearby summit.
Delta Force, those are
Despite
number
this
one.
combat controller's replies, Chapman never acknowledges whether because of damage to his equipment or himself will never be known. This new angle and footage shows Chapman at the top, identified by the green dot under the tree at Bunker 1. The lower center of the screen shows the first enemy fighter who is about to charge Chapman in the hopes of killing the American. The timestamp at the bottom shows it is now 6:05 in the morning and fully light. He's been fighting alone now for 40 plus minutes and has received more gunshot and shrapnel wounds as a result of the fierce combat.
Against 24
This
men.
scene shows the second of several enemy charges. In this stunning display of determination and courage, Chapman can be seen fighting hand to hand with the fighter. In the larger screen display can be seen additional enemy moving on to the summit. But right now, John Chapman is fighting for his life. 6 minutes later, in this new shot, Chapman can hear another helicopter approaching the summit. He is in the bottom center of the screen underneath the tree and can be seen in the magnified inset box as he begins his desperate final stand to save the lives of the 18 men on the helicopter. The red dots are enemy fighters. John begins engaging the enemy in multiple directions and is rapidly approaching the last of his ammunition. The helicopter contains a quick reaction force comprised of Rangers, pararescuemen, and another combat controller. It is now 6:13 and the helicopter is short final. The enemy is desperately trying to displace Chapman so they can put heavy weapons or rocket-propelled grenades in Bunker 1 while simultaneously engaging the helicopter. With the choice to save his life or the lives of his unknown comrades, Chapman makes the decision to climb out of the bunker and begin firing in multiple directions, as can be seen in the inset.
Giving it to everybody.
Suffering from as many as a dozen wounds, Chapman is in fact already in the process of dying. As he fights, the helicopter is struck by a rocket-propelled grenade and makes a remarkable controlled crash just below Chapman and the summit. Chapman, now off-screen, continues to cover his comrades as they pour out of the stricken helicopter. Some of them are fatally shot as they exit. These images, with Chapman fighting the enemy at close quarter, are the last to show him alive and in this heroic act, thus qualifying for his second Medal of Honor.
Deuce!
Ultimately, Chapman would expend all but the last few rounds of his ammunition, until, finally, after 16 bullet and shrapnel wounds, Chapman succumbs when he is shot through the heart. We will never know his final thoughts or words, but what we do know is his decisions and actions single-handedly saved the lives of 23 comrades.
Now listen, I urge you guys to go back and watch that video on your own. For me, it's hard to watch because I have such a vast respect for these men. I have family that served in the military, decorated. I never got a chance to really talk to them, about their time in combat or anything like that. But I wanted to show tribute to this man, Master Sergeant John Chapman. Thank you, man. Thank you. That video is a hard watch. It's men like this. Our country is 300 years old. We train the absolute best soldiers. These men are ready for any conditions. Any conditions. Their body is ready. Their mind is ready. They are ready for war. That man didn't want to die any other way. Any other way. They went back for one American. One American. I get tired of hearing people bash in the military. Everybody in the military industrial complex. Listen, man. Who do you think is protecting you, bro? Do you think we got a big fence around America? You know how many submarines we find in that ocean? How many drones are flying in that sky? How many of that people are coming and crossing into that border that are already terrorists? That are already searching for Delta Force operatives and Navy SEALs and people that they know they got to get rid of. It's already started. It's here. And it's men like this that we got to be grateful for, and women. And women. A woman was a big part of finding Osama bin Laden. If you guys have seen Zero Dark 30, then you know what I'm talking about. I hope that this video touches lives. I hope that it inspires. If any young kids are watching, the military is nothing to run from. You run to it. You be a man at all costs. If you don't have a father, if you don't have guidance, you go. My son is going. He's going so that I know I can rest in peace. And I know that they're going to make a great man regardless if I ever fail to do it. This is your boy, Rockin' Rhino, TCS 262.0. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Help me grow this page. I want to bring you more videos like this. I want to bring you interviews from men and women that have actually been in combat. If you know anybody and you can hook me up, I would greatly appreciate you and love to have you as a guest while I interview them on the show or wherever we have to be. Thank you. God bless you all. Peace.